Hi guys, how's it going? It is me, Megan, and I am back with another video. If you guys are new to my channel, I'm a full-time reseller on Poshmark and a few other platforms, but mostly Poshmark. And here on YouTube, I like to make reseller content. I'll do what sold videos, I'll do unboxings like this, I'll do all that good stuff. So if that is something you guys are interested in, please make sure to like and subscribe, and that way you'll never miss one of my videos. So I'm going to be going over sales from Sunday the 11th to Saturday yesterday, which was the 17th. I will say it wasn't the best week. I was surprised because I was actually very consistently listing new things, but you guys have told me, you know, sometimes that could take like a week or 2 weeks to really show in sales, which I totally understand. I did go to the bins last Monday, and those videos will be coming out soon in Sacramento, and I did get a lot of things, but I've almost fully went through listing them all. But the bins are an hour away, so I don't really want to keep going there to source. Just because they are so far, not that because it's not worth it. It's just it was a long day, and I've never been to the bins for that long a period of time ever. So yeah, it was just a lot, but really exciting. Found some good stuff. A couple of things may have already sold already, but if they did, I'll definitely let you guys know as I go over these sales. But yeah, I'm going to start with last Sunday, the 11th. I had 4 sales. I've really been seeing an uptake in the sales that I have on the weekends. Usually it wasn't like that. Usually my weekends were dead, and I hear all the other resellers being like, weekends are my busiest days, and that was just never the case for me. But all of a sudden my weekends are doing great, which I'm not complaining about. I've finally tapped into that market somehow, and I'm getting those sales. So last Sunday I had 4 sales. I sold these Nike men's black sweatpants. These I got at the bins in Portland, so I've had them for a little while now. They weren't in perfect condition, and I've kind of been sitting on them. They aren't like the trendy jogger style, but they were still a newer style. They ended up only selling for $13, and after fees I made $10.05. Then I had a full price buy of this Bowden button-down shirt dress. I think I might have already shown this in a video, maybe not, but it might be coming out soon. I have been doing a lot of thrifting around where I live, and I found this at a thrift shop recently. Sorry if you can hear my cat. My husband just left to grab food, and my cat could probably hear me and is crying at the door. But yeah, I picked this up recently at a local thrift store. I think it was like half off or something, so I think I only paid $4 for it. And I know Bowden can do really well. There was a few other dresses, but I only picked this one up. But once it sold so quickly, I actually went back and I grabbed the other 2 that weren't as cheap as this dress, but since this sold so fast and for such a good amount of money, I decided to go grab those. It ended up selling for $50, which is what I had it listed at, which is great. And then after fees, I made $40. Then I sold this BCBG kimono dress, which I also picked up in the bins in Portland. I just really liked the way it looked, and it was definitely a little bit of an older piece. BCBG Maxaria does not do well for me. It does really well when I would send it into THREDUP, back when I used to sell on THREDUP. So it was definitely worth picking it up if I saw it at the bins to then send into them. But selling it on my own has always been kind of hit or miss. The first time I ever got it in a, I think 25-piece THREDUP rescue box, women's rescue box, years ago when they used to be worth it, I got a dress from them and I actually sold it for over $100. So definitely look up comps. Some of their pieces might be worth reselling. This was just kind of, I saw it at the bins, I liked it, thought I'd sell it. It wasn't getting much attention, but someone offered me $15 for it, so I decided to accept. And the funny thing was, I sold a dress the week before and I just couldn't find it. I went through my inventory like 100 times. I couldn't find it anywhere. I was just gonna cancel the sale. But when this person bought this dress, I went to go package it up, and the dress that I had sold the previous week was like hanging from this dress. Like it fell off the hook and it was hanging off of this one. So if this person did not like send me this offer and I didn't accept, I never would have found that other dress, which I actually sold for $50 last week. So something magical there happened, and I was so happy. And then the last thing I sold on Sunday was actually a Madewell pajama set. I got this at the bins as well, I believe in Portland, maybe Vancouver. I found the like pieces separately, and then I realized, you know, they went together. Pretty basic, but still pretty cute. It ended up selling for $28, and after fees, I made $22.40. Then on Monday the 12th, I had 3 sales. I sold this Victoria's Secret pink Oregon State quarter zip sweatshirt. I don't know if they do it anymore. I think they still do, but pink by Victoria's Secret would always do these college collabs. I know I had a few pieces from them from when I was going to UConn, and I saw this at the bins again in Portland, and I decided to pick it up. I did sit on this for a while, but it is like college season now, I guess you can say. Kids are finally going back to college, and you know, they're going to be going to like football games and, you know, other sporting events, so they want to rep their schools. So I'm not surprised it's sold now. It ended up selling for $17, and after fees I made $11.88. Then I sold this Hugger Prima compression bra, and I actually found 2 of these at the Vancouver bins a while ago. These are made for like when people have surgery on their chests. I had heard somebody else talk about these bras in a haul, and so when I saw them at the bins, I did kind of recognize what they were. They had like, they had like a front zipper, but they also had hooks up here on the shoulders instead of in the back. So I did kind of recognize them. I saw 2 at the bins and I picked them up. One sold last month on eBay, I think around the same price. They're originally like $80, which is pretty crazy. But then this one sold for $36, and after fees I made $31.06, and this one actually sold on Mercari, and the other one sold on eBay. Then I sold this John Galt pleated skirt, really cute, pretty classic. I pick up a lot of John Galt and Brandy Melville at the bins, especially these more like kind of substantial pieces. Like I wouldn't pick up just like any old top from them, but this pleated skirt I picked up, especially John Galt jeans. I actually picked up a few of their skirts in the past. They're pretty trendy, and I find it kind of easy to find model photos for them. This one ended up selling for $23, and then after fees I made $16.68. So it's not always necessarily worth it to pick up in the store, though I did pick up a pair of their carpenter pants for like $4 or maybe $6, and those sold really quickly. I wouldn't pay up for it. I wouldn't pay more than like $5 for it, but some of their pieces are definitely worth it, especially they're really trendy pieces like carpenter pants and cargo pants and stuff like that are really trendy right now. And then on Tuesday, I only had 1 sale. I sold this necklace earring set, kind of like Native American, Mexican inspired, not real silver, pretty sure it was sold on Amazon. I got this in a THREDUP jewelry rescue box. I don't usually buy those, but I mentioned maybe last week that I just find those videos to be so interesting when people do unboxings of them. I didn't film one because I don't really have anything to like test the metals, test the gems, test the diamonds, but I was just interested in getting one and I saw it, so I bought it. And I got some really good pieces. This was one of them. It ended up selling for $25, and after fees I made $20. And the person left me a really nice review. She's like, it's even more pretty in person, so that's very nice. I'm glad when people let me know how much they love the stuff. Though when I get direct messages after I've sold something, my heart always sinks because I just imagine they're gonna like be like, this was the wrong size, I want to return this, da 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 da. But the last couple I've been like, oh my god, I love this, blah blah blah, thank you so much, and I go, you're welcome, but you like gave me a heart attack. But yeah, they really loved it. And then on Wednesday, I had 4 sales. I sold these men's Old Navy straight leg jeans. These I've had forever. Hopefully my men's stuff starts moving again soon because for some reason I've just had the worst luck selling like anything men's. So hopefully they start selling again, especially their jeans because I do have a few pairs. But these end up selling for $16, and after fees I made $11.08. Then I sold these Figs scrub pants. Everyone knows Figs, everyone loves Figs. I found these a long time ago at a Goodwill for $7 and I was so excited, but they must have been the size or the style or something. I've just been sitting on these forever. I couldn't even get them to move for 30 bucks. Eventually I was able to negotiate with someone on eBay and it sold for $23, and after fees I made $20.18. So next time I'll definitely look into the style I'm picking up in Figs or really not pay too much for them at all. Then the next thing I sold was actually these Shein distressed jeans in a 2XL. I picked these up in my most recent bins trip, like I said on Monday. I don't really source Shein unless it's like a very cute and trendy piece. but their jeans do, I guess, have a following. These were honestly like new. It breaks my heart every time I see these fast fashion pieces at the bins because, you know, someone just bought it because it was cheap, didn't like it, so donated it and just went directly into, you know, pretty much the landfill. If I hadn't picked them up, no one else probably would have because they're not expensive. But they were a good size. They were really cute. Again, they were like new, so I knew they'd be a fast flip even though they weren't going to sell for much. They sold within like 5 minutes of me listing them. I had them listed for 20 and someone offered me 15, and instead of waiting forever, I decided to accept. So they sold for 15. After fees, I made 12, and that already covers a third of what I spent at that specific bins. I spent like $33. Then the last thing I sold on Wednesday was this vintage sweater vest. This also I bought at the bins on Monday. I went to 2 different ones. This one was from the first one, so the one I spent $55 at. This one also sold, I think, within the day. I didn't end up listing it for very much. I don't know why. But sweater vests are extremely trendy right now. I think it was because it was technically a petite, and you know, petites don't do super well. But it actually sold on Depop. Someone offered me 20. The way offers on Depop works is that it's not paid immediately like on Poshmark, where if someone offers you $20 and you accept, it's sold, it's paid for, everything. On Depop, you accept and then you have to wait for them to pay, and the last handful of offers I've gotten on Depop, they never pay. So I don't take it down from my other sites, other platforms, until they pay for it. But they paid, so it sold for 20, and after fees I made $16.88. Then Thursday I had one sale, this men's Columbia rain jacket. I really thought that this would sell faster, but I did pick it up in the summer, which is technically like the drier season for the Pacific Northwest, where it rains probably the most. If this was more towards the rainy seasons, like the winter in that area, I think it would have sold a little bit better. But I did pick this up at the bins. It was in great condition. It ended up selling for $34, and after fees I made $27.20. And then on Friday I had 2 sales. I sold this Nike girls bodysuit, again something I picked up from the bins in Portland. Been sitting on it for a while. My kids stuff also hasn't really been moving, probably because I market too high, honestly. But I also probably should just reopen my Kitizen and just try and move it there. But this ended up selling for $16, which is what I think I had it listed at. And then after fees, I made $11.08. And then I sold this Dip shacket. Dip is, I don't even know, it's not a very expensive brand. I actually picked this up at the bins and gave it to my husband, but he said he was going to get rid of it, so I decided to resell it. It did sell pretty quickly. I only listed it at 20, but it sold for 20, and after fees I made 16. And then on Saturday I had my best day. I sold 5 pieces and a couple of some of my favorite things that I have picked up recently, including this Wilfred cashmere wool sweater. If you guys watched, I think, my most recent haul video, this was in that. I almost forgot to include it because I'd already put it away in my inventory, and I was so bummed that I forgot to show you guys, so I edited it into the video. Wilfred is one of my favorite brands to find and resell. It is by far the best performing Aritzia brand I can find, if I can find it. This just, I couldn't even believe it was still at the Goodwill. When I was going through the sweaters, I was like it was in perfect condition, and it was so cute with the heart prints. I think, again, it probably would have sold a little bit better closer to like Valentine's Day, but I cannot complain. So cute. I had it listed, I think, at 80, and tons of attention on Poshmark, on Depop, everywhere. Someone ended up offering me $68, and I decided to accept, and after fees I made $54.40, and the sweaters at my Goodwill are $9.99, so I made pretty much like $45 on that, which I'm totally happy about. Then I also had a really quick sale. I sold this Lulu's long maxi dress. This is from that same thrift store that I got that Bowden dress from that I mentioned I sold last Sunday, I think. I went back to pick up the other Bowden dresses, and I think I either passed on this dress also last time, or maybe I just didn't see it. It was kind of expensive, but my average cost of goods per dress that time was about $12, so not too bad. I love finding Lulu's, like their maxi dresses, and this one was so cute. It ended up selling, again, pretty quickly for $59, and after fees I made $45.48. Then I sold these Lacoste men's sweatshorts. These came from a recent bins trip from a few weeks ago. We went kind of like around when we moved in. There were these Lacoste men's sweatshorts. They had a little bit more wear than I originally noticed when I picked them up, but I still decided to list them because they were really high quality and Lacoste can get pretty expensive. They actually ended up selling for what I had them listed at on Mercari, which was great. So they ended up selling for $26. So then after fees, I made $22.35. Then I had a pretty surprising sale because this piece was not getting any attention on any platform I had it listed on, but it just sold for like full price on eBay. And I just wasn't expecting it. But this was another bins pickup from Portland. It was this 1970s Marquis of London leather jacket. I saw a lot of good comps for these, but they also were kind of all over the place, but really cute, high quality. There was some wear, but I did note that in the listing. It ended up selling for $60 on eBay, which was great. And then after fees, I made $52.69. And then the last thing I sold was from my bins trip on Monday from the second, this is gonna be so confusing, but from the second place I went where I spent $33. I sold this mini Bowden floral girls jacket. I was surprised this was still there. The zipper actually worked, which especially for kids jackets, they like never work. But it ended up selling the same day I listed it. It sold for $28 and after fees I made $21.60. So I have fully covered that bins trip that I made from Monday. And that one sold on Poshmark. Mini Bowden is definitely one of probably the best kids brands that I resell. I like to pick up Hannah Anderson. I don't see it as much. I think it was headquartered in Portland, so I found it a lot more before. And it has sold well for me, but not as well as Mini Bowden. I think I've sold through all the Mini Bowden pieces I've picked up. So if you see it, definitely consider picking it up. So anyway, my gross total for this last week, it wasn't too high, but also not too bad. It was $592, and then after fees of $116.99, I net $475.01. So again, not too bad, not, you know, best week ever, but I'm still really happy about that. Hopefully sales will continue to pick up. Yeah, let me know how your guys' sales have been going. I hope you guys have a great time sourcing and selling this week, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye!